So the past 2 days, we have spent time graphing, and we looked and saw where the two lines intersected, and that was called the solution. The ordered pair where the two lines hit, that's the solution. So we're not going to graph anymore because maybe you don't have graph paper handy. Maybe you don't feel like graphing. Maybe graphing, it just takes too long. So there is another way to find the solution, the ordered pair that plugs into the equations, and you don't have to graph. It's called elimination. So eliminate. What does the word eliminate mean, first off?
Take away.
Get rid of, take away. So we're going to take away numbers as part of this process. We're going to cancel out x's or cancel out y's as part of this process. So the first thing you have on your paper is some vocab words that you saw on Tuesday. You saw them actually. System of equations. So a system means what? Like, what would that vocab word mean? What is a system of equations? A group. There's two of them. So two what? Two equations. And what have we been doing with the graphing so far? We've looked for what? Or we found what? Yes, where they connect. And that's another way of saying where they have a common solution, where they intersect, where they hit. Two equations that have a common solution. Good. Solution of a system. What is the solution again? When I say, 5 comma 3 is the solution. What is that? Like, how would you describe that or define that?
2 points that work.
Let's call it an ordered pair. And we might not always be graphing, so I'm going to say the ordered pair. And we've used the word works. The ordered pair that works, but it's the ordered pair that plugs into both equations. Plugs in, sorry that's so scrunched, that plugs in to both equations. So the elimination method, what we're doing today is we are going to cancel out a variable and find our solution. This method means we are canceling out a variable. The elimination method is a way to find the solution if you don't want to graph. It's an alternative way. We really need to talk about what the steps are. So this section's got to go like in the left-hand margin over on the side. Because these are the steps we're going to use for each. These are the steps we're going to use for each problem. I need to switch. Okay, solving using elimination means to cancel out a variable. Ugh, I'm already not good. Cancel out a variable. So here's our steps. Step 1, look for the same number in X or Y. When I say I'm looking for the same number, it means that like both of the x's are like 2's. or both of the x's are 7s, or both of the y's are -9s. We're going to have matching numbers today. And you have to be able to tell, oh, the y's are the same. They're both 3s. Step 2, cancel. Cancel out the variable by adding or subtracting. Oh, running out of room, sorry. So first we're going to find the x's or the y's that are the same. Then we're going to cancel them out. And the third step is we're going to solve for the remaining variable. Okay? This is on the side of your paper because we're going to keep referring to it. All right. So, number 1, step 1. Find the variables that are the same. Are the x's the same or are the y's the same?
The y's.
The y's are the same. So what we're going to do is kind of like what we did back when we first learned how to add. You learned how to add like this. 3 plus 1. And it was vertical. Okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to do the same thing. If the y's are the same, am I going to add or am I going to subtract to get a 0 right here? Should you add, so that would look like this. 5 plus -5. Or should I subtract? 5 minus -5.
Plus.
Add, you're right. Winner, winner. So you're going to put a big plus sign on the side, there and left, to show that you are adding these two equations. And you're just going to go down the line and you're going to add. Let's start with the x's, why not? You're going to add straight down. So let's do the x's. What is a -8 plus a 1? -8 plus 1. -7x. Obviously the 5's cancel, right? So please don't even put anything. Don't even put a 0, just leave it blank. Okay, what is, equal sign just is there. Drop it down, equal sign. What is 7 plus -14? 7 plus -14. -7. Okay, step 3, solve for the remaining variable. X is remaining. Solve for x. What is x? Do your math. What do I have to do to get x alone?
Divide.
Okay, do it. Divide by -7, both sides. What does x equal?
0.
Uh,
1.
-7 divided by -7. 1. You are halfway done with your ordered pair. Put it over on the side somewhere. 1 comma blank. We got x. X is 1. We have to do y. So again, you might say, yeah, I like this way better than graphing. Or maybe you want to graph instead. So, if my x is 1, what do you suppose I would do to find y?
Cancel the x.
I don't want to cancel the x because I already know what x is. I have to find y. Plug it in. Okay. You're right. Plug in. So let's do this on the side somewhere. Plug. Oh my goodness. plug in 1, and I'm going to put OG. And the reason I'm making it OG, that's original. The reason I'm making such a point about it and giving it a fun name is that you need to know that you need to plug it back into the equation that I typed out. The black equation that's on your paper is the original. Those two are the first ones that you were given. So I'm not going to plug in anything else. Which equation do you like better? The top one or the bottom one? Which is easiest for you? You're going to plug in a 1. Bottom, sure. So that's this one. X minus 5y equals negative 14. But what am I going to do? Because I know that x is 1. Plug in 1. So you're going to put a 1 there. 1 minus 5y equals negative 14. Because you know that x is 1. So you're going to substitute in 1. Here's what I want. I want you to tell me this. I want to know what y equals. Get y alone. So this is now what? Back from September, solving 2-step equations. What's the first step I do to get y alone? I don't want to add anything.
Subtract 1.
Subtract 1. This one right here, because it's positive. Okay. Negative 5y equals. Negative 14 minus 1. Is it 13 or is it 15? 15. Negative 15. I'm totally running out of space. How do I still get y alone now? Divide by negative 5. Sorry, it's so cramped. So I'm looking at this right here. Negative 15 divided by negative 5. What is it? A positive 3. And I found my ordered pairs. 1, 3. That's my solution. I found the two numbers that would plug into the top and the bottom. And I would get yeses if I plugged in. 1, 3. I'd get yes and yes. It's a solution. Each problem requires these steps. Let's go to number 2. Which variable are you going to cancel out? The x or the y? You're right. So, let's do that. Make your line. Am I going to add 3y and negative 3y, or should I subtract 3y and negative 3y? I need 0. You're right. Put a big plus sign on the side. Okay, Adam. 8x plus 4x makes 3y plus negative 3y. 0, nothing. Leave it blank. Negative 2, put your equal sign. Negative 2 plus negative 10. Not positive 12. Negative 12. So it's really easy to always get the first variable alone. What's my answer? 1 or negative 1? Okay, on the side, you're halfway done. Boop, boop. Negative 1, comma, we don't know. What do I do with that negative 1 that I just found? Plug it in, you're right. Solve for the remaining variable, y. We have to solve for y now. Which equation do you prefer to plug in this negative 1? Top, sure. It really doesn't matter. You pick whichever one you want. Top, bottom, doesn't matter, as long as it's one of the originals. 8x, x is negative 1. 8x plus 3y, we're solving for y now, equals negative 2. Keep going with the math, solve for y. Negative 8 plus 3y equals negative 2. Add 8, yeah?
I can answer.
3y equals, what is it? 6? Divide by 3 both sides.
2.
Y equals 2. I found the second number of my order pair. -1, comma 2. X equals -1, Y equals 2. That's when you know you're finished, when you have both numbers. We are skipping 3, so I hope you guys didn't go ahead of me, because I don't want to do 3. I want to jump 4. Okay. On numbers 1 and 2, the signs were like perfect, like positive and negative, and I was able to cancel them out. But look at number 4. What's the same, the X's or the Y's? The Y's. But they're not plus minus. This won't be easy to cancel out. So I need to make it easy to cancel out. I'm going to make it easy to cancel out by, I wrote it up there in green. Okay, so I really want one of my 4y's to be plus 4y. So in order to get my 4y to be plus 4y, I have to change the sign. But I have to change the sign of the whole equation. You do that by multiplying the whole equation by -1. And this is very legal and fair as far as math rules go. So put that you're going to multiply the whole top equation by -1. You could do the bottom if you wanted. Let's just do the top. Put a -1 parentheses around the whole thing. Yeah.
Weren't you able to subtract?
You can subtract, yes. But if you subtract, people get messed up on the signs a lot because it'd be like -4 minus 1, -4 minus minus. People just mess up more. So this is easier. Right off the bat, I'm able to get them what I want, plus minus. Okay. Distribute that -1. What's my new equation for the top? Positive 4x. Positive 4y. Negative 24. So really, if you want to do this in your head and just change the signs, you could do that too. The bottom equation is going to stay exactly the same. Remember, I need them opposite signs. And now, my 4y's are opposite signs. Woo woo! Here's my two new equations. The y's are the same. Add the equations. Okay, 4x plus x is how many x's? 5x. 4y plus -4y. I should copy notes. 4y plus -4y. 0. Don't even write anything. What's -24 plus -16?
-4. -8.
-40.
Oh.
What's my x going to be? Divided by 5. -8. You're halfway done. -8, comma, we don't know. Question. What am I? Put it on my desk and go. What do I do now with my -8 that I just found? Plug it in. Plug it in. Original. That's the ones that are typed. Which original do you like better? First one, second one, the bottom one? Sure. X minus 4y equals -16. That's the equation I'm going to plug -8 into. So replace your x with -8. Minus 4y equals -16. Now solve for y, just like we've done on the first two problems. Add 8, BS. Remember, you can only add it to like terms, right? Negative 4y equals, negative 16 plus 8. They're opposite signs, so not 24, negative 8. Good job. What about last step? Divide by negative 4, BS. Y equals what? 2. I found my y. My ordered pair. My solution is negative 8 comma 2. On number 5, I'm just going to briefly go over it because I want to look at some of the classwork. On number 5, look at the y's. They're both negative 2's. How can I change one of them to a plus 2 so I can cancel? Times negative 1. Which equation do you want to multiply by negative 1? Doesn't matter. Really, not at all. Just change the signs all the way through. If you pick the top equation, just make it positive 2x, positive 2y, and negative 4. You're just changing the signs of everything. The bottom equation stays exactly as it was originally given to you. So those are my 2 new equations for number 5. You're going to do the same process real quick. 5x equals 5. X equals 1. Plug it into the original, typed. The ones on your paper typed out. I'll pick the bottom. 3 times 1 minus 2y equals 9. I'm going fast just because the bell. So I plugged in 1 for x. Minus 3. Negative 2y equals 6. Question.
Would that last part work for the top section
If you
or the bottom section?
wanted to plug in 1 in for the 3x minus 2y,
Yes.
sure, either equation. Plug in 1 into either equation. Because remember, it's the solution for both of them. So it's going to work on either equation. So your classwork is 1 through 14 on the attached paper. So you got to find x and y for both. The answers that I'm looking for every single problem are going to be blank, comma, blank. 1 through 14 is classwork and homework. It just notes took a while because we started halfway into the period. 1 through 14. Okay? On number 4, I do have you for another minute, so I'm going to use it. On number 4, everything is going to cancel when I add. I know. When I add number 4, everything's going to cancel out. 0 plus 0 equals 0. So that's called infinite solutions. Okay? On number 3, only the x and the y are going to cancel. That means that the lines are parallel, by the way. That's called no solution. Because you have no variable. I'm still going. And you're going to wonder what to do on 3 and 4 when like all the x's cancel, but then you have this 3 there. Or what happens when the whole thing cancels and you have 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay? These are going to end up being like parallel lines. There's no variable, you can't solve anything, no solution. So you'll for sure see those, okay? Have a good day, 1 through 4.